What's up, freedom loving people, real estate owning people? Welcome. Another Monday, another day in paradise. Mondays are for goal planning. I'm trying to see what I'm going to execute this week. I've got a few things going on. Um, few things. You know, I am a full-time real estate broker in addition to business owner, many businesses. Uh, you know, just dealing with playing the cards I was dealt. I'm an ugly son of a gun, so I gotta get it somehow. It definitely ain't my looks. Okay. Give me just 1 second. I've shared the link so we can get going reviewing today's real estate opportunities, and I have seen a couple of good ones today. Some good land listings, and John Randall just listed a new condo at Crimson Place. Looks like an excellent condition unit, second floor, so just one flight of stairs, facing all the action where the semicircle parking lot is, and the management office, private pavilion, pool area. The kids really like that. My mother was giving me such a hard time yesterday at lunch about my little gray hairs. So I'm going to get my hair cut today. So I don't, I love my long hair. I'm 35 and my hair just grows and grows and grows. I definitely am not stressed out. No pressure, just, choosing which way we want to go. We're so blessed to be living in this country. I am just shocked at how bad we were wrong about how other people are living in this world, particularly the people that are dealing with communist and dictator regimes. Russia, North Korea, China, Afghanistan, Iran, all these places that have just forgotten Jesus Christ came to earth to warn us. It's just been 2,000 years ago. Some people don't mind just living here, and then they know they're going to hell, and they, like Vladimir Putin has literally signed up 700,000 of his own people to go die for a shameless land grab. Make that make sense. Well, and I have been trying to make it make sense with them. The free world information that reaches us is controlled. Nothing gets out of there that they don't approve and think might help their brainwashing effort, where we're mad and hate them, but they sit in Russia untouched. They control the masses there. They control them, so they have nothing to worry about. And, Putin's getting older. I've heard that so many times, that he's like getting older, his health's deteriorating, blah, blah, blah. He literally has got to have something that shows how he left Russia in a better state. And, a shameless land grab is one way to do it, even though it's on the backs of almost 1 million of his own soldiers' dead bodies and leaving their families and everything. Okay, you get a little bit of land that you didn't have, and it's never going to be peace in that land. Ukraine's never going to let them just set up shop and not bomb every building that they try to rebuild. So an endless war is what he wanted, and that's the only way. I'm trying to think in terms of if I were Putin, he's a war criminal. The free world cannot integrate with Putin's Russia, so he has to have a catalyst that gets everything wiped out that they've done, and maybe is going to allow him a life after Russia. If he leaves that office, it's going to all untwine. They're going to bust him and probably cost him his life with everything that they've done, murder, terror, torture, to be in a government. Joe Biden, is, at least he's not the leading terrorist of the world. He may not be that smart, but he was our president. And it's a totally different ball game. Putin has done so much. The way things are right now, if he didn't do something like this and create this catalyst where, well, he was the guy, even though he ruined the entire country, millions of people died, all this stuff. He got a little bit of land in Ukraine, which doesn't profit the country, but he did get the land, so that's what they're going to stick with. And he's got to have some sort of success story or death. That's the two options for them. So it's a different ball game. And the free media in our country and the free media around the world has got to stop taking what they say at face value. There's all these internet bloggers and even national franchise media like NBC. I was partnered with the Hoffman family that controls CNBC. And they have a direct line to the Kremlin. They haven't told Putin to go kill himself and stop doing this, to try and force the right thing to happen. They're just, oh, okay, well, he gets to do what he wants. The presidential office gets a pass. So, send all these people to their deaths, terrorize Ukraine children, all this stuff. We didn't just watch Hitler try this 80 years ago and fail horribly. 6 million Jewish people murdered for nothing. German people still here. The main thing that I've realized most recently with this obsessive coverage of a few North Korean troops going to die with their Russian counterparts, trying to take fields in Ukraine. Kim Jong-un, the president or whatever they call him of North Korea right now, chief dickhead of North Korea, his grandfather tried to take South Korea in the Korean War, and nothing happened except this big death toll. They did not take South Korea. It did not fix and unite the peninsula for the good at all. The only thing that happened was he stayed in power, and now second generation from him is still in power and taking all the North Koreans' freedom and money and future and everything, and they suffer and they live good. I think that's what Putin is kind of looking at. That could be an option, even though it's going to be really horrible. So many people are going to die for nothing, to try and change some landlines, and maybe Russia, get some more land that they didn't have. Even when it ends, everybody has run out and had enough of whatever's going to happen. They stayed in power. The people in Russia are just not, they don't have the power to say, oh, well, you caused all this. When you're the elected president, you're going to get a pass. So this would allow something like that to happen, where they're able to retreat, maybe a little bit of a gain, even if no gain at all. He'll stay in power. There'll be a change. He'll still be alive. All those people are dead, gave their entire life for one person to be in power. And that's nuts. We have not lived like that in the United States of America for a long time. We do give people rights for every fart and cranny that they can come up with, which is a little silly, but we protect life and liberty. We protect life and liberty. This is a war of aggression. This is a war of Putin has failed horribly, and they have got to force something else for him to stand on and be proud of when he walks out of office, nearly 80 years old, having done nothing, and he didn't want anything to follow him. All the crimes and stuff that he's done in Russia, if that were to change, political power were to change, they could kill him. So it's a different, the stakes are different for those leaders that are causing these problems, and so many people to suffer. Off the top, you've already got 700,000 soldiers that have a mother and a father. That's 1.4 million people right there, just between the mothers and the fathers. Of course, a bunch of them are probably dead already because they're in terrible shape, don't have access to anything. But they could not control 1.4 million people in Moscow Square, raiding the Kremlin. They couldn't stop that. They'd have to bomb their own people, which Putin probably would. But in that situation, it would be a do or die, because as soon as they do bomb their own people, then his regime topples. So I don't really understand what they're waiting on. Why the soldiers continue to try and do this and not just put down their guns and refuse these ridiculous orders. And there's not, like I said, even just the parents, the mother and the father of the 700,000 dead or maimed personnel for the Russian army. Where are those people? Why can't they just walk to the Kremlin, bust down those doors? In America, this is just it. Freedom knows no bounds. I mean, those people are doing it and they're paying the price. Here in the capital city, because it was for the wrong reasons. They were wrong and they lost. But in Russia, they're not going to be wrong. They're going to have the upper hand. Everybody wants out from under this terrible grip, but it's like this big mystery, and some people are lying. They're saying that they don't like Putin, and they do. They're lying. They're spies. They're being forced to come up with excuses. They make things sound like they don't like their own government, but they do. They're supporting them. They will not say, I would like to see Putin in town square hanging from a noose for the dead bodies and murder, terror, torture that he thought was the best way to run Russia in this 21st century. Okay, enough rambling. It's already been 12 minutes. I might delete that rant out. Nobody's watching right now, so okay. All right, let's get started here. Let me turn this down a little bit. Turn this down a little bit. My shirt's stretched out because my sunglasses have been hanging there. I've worn this shirt a couple days in a row now. Guess I'm a skanky person. Okay, now up to 10 listings. That's better than the 4 that it was when I first checked this morning. 10 listings. Okay, let's jump in. 2112 Loop Road. This is another rehabilitation home. It was built in 1945. It's just under 1,850 square feet with a half-acre parcel, 0.5. One-level home, 3-bed, 2-bath. Like I said, it was built in 1945, so it's early mid-century. Does need lead-based paint disclosure, even though it's been rehabilitated and is on this main loop road for Tuscaloosa. You could, it says great verbo option or student rental home. Could be an investment property. Tyler Bigby, Keller Williams, he's the he's the hired broker of the company. Over at Keller Williams, different agents own the company. They're actually just regular realtors that own the company and hire Tyler to be their broker. So in a sense, it kind of changed the traditional way of the broker owning the company and the agents working under them. The agents now, own Tyler essentially. Super smart. I see why they jumped on the Keller Williams franchise, along with all the education and stuff that they offer. It's a big company with low fees, especially for the top producers, the people that sell a ton of real estate. They don't give up any of their commissions right away every year. And then the lower portions give up their 20 and 30% and pay the fees for the company. It's genius. Okay, so Loop Road 264.9 rehabilitated. Okay, next up we've got Tuscaloosa 69 South, just right here beside me. Village at Magnolia, very popular with the locals. 9924 Moonlight Drive, another very recognizable address for the locals here. It's been here for, this one was built in 2007. 1,519 square feet, so it's a moderate to small size. Good for, carry costs, heating and cooling and things like that. 3 bed, 2 bath. Doesn't have the lot size. Affordable though. Talisa Tav Southern Homes is the listing agent. She's got it at 239.9. So, and that's a pretty good price for 1,500 square feet this close into town. A lot of the new ones will be 250 or more and further out, but of course they're new. Okay, next up we got one in Birmingham Road, Centerville, Alabama. This is Julie Holdsoundbeck. EXP Realty is the seller's agent. 3 bed, 2 bath, 1 level home. It says Centerville is Bibb County, if you didn't know. It's built in 1950, so it is mid-century. 2,241 square feet. It's a lot of square feet to heat and cool. You want to consider your cost on that. It's got a half-acre parcel, 0.5. Brent Elementary, Centerville High School. Centerville Middle, the Bibb County High. Julie's got this one listed for $249,999, so basically $250,000. That's in Centerville. Okay, this is the Crimson Place condominium. John Randall listed over at Keller Williams. It's unit 624, which is building 6, second floor, 4th unit. It does face all the action with the semicircle parking lot and the retail across the street with the pool and the fitness center and all that. On-site management. Okay, so this is a 3 bed, 3 bath, 1,239 square feet. Crimson Place was built in 2006, so it's not quite 20 years old yet, but it's getting there. 3 bed, 3 private bath in each bedroom. John Randall's got it listed over at Keller Williams, and this was at $274,900. $274,900. I know there's a couple others listed at like $305,000. Those owners just must be morons. Well, I don't want to say that. People just jump on me all the time when I throw things out there. I don't know who it is, but when you're like 25,000 above, excellent condition, fully furnished unit. That's a little silly. Especially listed in the same office. 275. There's been some Crimson Place. This might have been a refresh actually. There was 2 3-bedrooms at Crimson Place that had like 80, 90 days on market. So this could have been one of them. But the condos are still on fire. I mean, they're just absolutely, for some reason, the UA students, whether they can buy a condo or not, they all think that the condominiums here, like Crimson Place, Capstone Quarters, Houndstooth, Midtown, those particular properties, there's not many of them. They're like authentic student housing now. And so that's what has driven the demand through the roof. I had a 2-bedroom just recently that I sold for a client, and there was like 30 showings, just within a 30-day time frame. It's just over and over and over. There's so much traffic. Well, so many people looking, and a smaller percentage actually buys them. All right, next up we got 69 South again right here beside me. Jim Walkman over at Carrie Fitz Real Estate is the seller's agent. This is popular Mallard Creek. A lot of people know that. 1321 Teal Circle. 2-level home, 5 bedrooms, 2 full bathrooms, 1 half bathroom. It's got a third of an acre lot, 0.34. It's built in 1992, so it's just before turn of the century, but it does have that second floor, kind of when this is the point in history where homes and builders started getting away from that mid-century ranch style, which just the one trestle, the one roof line going across the entire house, like a long house. 2,813 square feet, so it's a big home. A lot of heating and cooling expense you need to consider. Lovely home, solid bricks. Got a porch upstairs. When you walk out of an upstairs bedroom, you have a private balcony, which is sick. Awesome. I'm tired of people saying, see, we've got to get away from this opposites That's I believe that's something of the devil. Um, just helping like dumb things down for people, but actually get closer to sinning and stuff. It's so crazy how sin is in our lives, and everybody wants to ignore it, including me. Don't get me wrong. I mean, I sin every day, and it's tough to try and get right and walk that line on things that you compromise on and things that you don't believe are the same in society, but the good book says otherwise. It's just tough. It's just tough. But everything goes back. It doesn't matter. It does not matter. Sin does not change. The same sins that were being committed when Jesus was here are the same sins being committed now. Don't get me wrong; they may be more complex, but it goes back to the original sin. Ten Commandments. Look at the Ten Commandments. It's as easy as that. Everything that is wrong is going to relate to one of those Ten Commandments. It's crazy. It's crazy. That's how you know there's a creator. In addition to the skies and the earth being here. Um, all right, next up, we're in Northport City, ever popular Northwood Lake. 5401 Northwood Lake Drive East. One level home built in 1986, so it does have that ranch style one roof line, single trestle. 2,034 square feet, so it's a moderate size. 3-bed, 2-bath, Vestavia Elementary, Tuscaloosa County High. The zoning, Amanda Malone over at Hammond Real Estate is the seller's agent, and it's $299,900 asking. Okay, next up, this is a good one. Chris McCoon, Whitetail Properties Real Estate. I've never met him, but I do know his wife that works over at another office, Alex. I have met her and talked to her before. I think we did a deal. There's so many of us now. It's hard to keep up with. But this is a really good listing, priced right too, in Northport County on Mountain View Drive. Get that now, Mountain View. You know what that means. 43 acres, under 25.50 per acre, $2,534 an acre. That's incredible. That's priced right. Now, it does not have the mineral rights with that. That may be a reason that the land is a little bit less for the deed and the use possession of the property. But that's a lot of land to develop or hunt on, whatever, and you don't hardly see $2,500. I guess you don't have the full value without the mineral rights, but you could get the trees or build on it. 109,000 asking, 2,500 an acre at 43 acres. Okay, next up, this is a really interesting one. There's been a lot of these recently because the UA investment for student housing has been really strong in this area, where you see some of these really expensive projects that could bring a land price like this, but you talking about a tough sale. 2425 Prince Avenue. It's a land listing. It's zoned R2, which can be townhomes. It backs up to those Rumsey townhomes right there off of Prince Avenue anyway. 4.5 acres. Looks like it's still, some of it may be wooded, but there is a home site with a big yard that is cleared. But you got 4.5 full acres there where you could do a multifamily development. Townhomes or whatever. 4.5 acres. Lee Foster over at Keller Williams got it listed, and they're asking 1.2 million for it. It's a stretch, but the right developer could work with that. Okay, Chris McCoon's got another good land listing. I saw this one too. Much smaller though. It's 0.8 of an acre, so 4/10, 80% of an acre. 14510 Yellow Creek Fishing Camp Road. Mountain View subdivision, so it's in a subdivision, almost a full acre, and it's only $20,000. North side school zoning. It's got a little bit of a land cleared. I can see from the photo. Let me look at it. Yeah, mostly wooded. You still have to do some excavation, but it's very close to that big yellow creek that a lot of people like. The contours, the elevation, it's that's a really good flat lot. It doesn't change very much. I can see that. And Yellow Creek, Yellow Creek is just right off Lake Tuscaloosa. I mean, it's all connected to the river anyway. Um, and it's only 20,000, so that's a good opportunity. It's a good opportunity. Mountain View, I might go check that one out. Okay, last one for today. We've got Tuscaloosa, 69 South, Gates of Ridge Haven. This one was built in 2006, so it's not quite 20 years old. 2040 Harrison Drive, one level home, 3 bed, 2 bath. Doesn't have the lot size. 1,833 square feet, so it's a moderate to large, size there. Jennifer Taylor, EXP Realty. I just put one of her listings under contract last week, and she's asking 3045 for that one. 3045. Okay, so that's it for today. I'm gonna end with a view of the airport. It's a little cloudy. Still a little cloudy, but good clouds, not rain clouds. Um, Beautiful day. Beautiful day. I don't see any airplanes, probably because of all the clouds right now. I do expect, some activity at some point this week, but uh, yeah, that's it. Monday, get your goals in place. Um, call me this week if you're thinking about real estate. You can learn a lot just by dealing with me. And through the process. I mean, most of my investors at some point in the investment, they're DIY, do it yourself, whether it's the management and save on the management fee and I find the renter for them, or whatever the case may be. A lot of them do most of it themselves and keep more of their money. Um, you just have to jump in. There is a place for you to learn real estate at your own pace in your own time, without a timeline necessarily. And, paying cash for properties is always a good idea. Cheap land, you can buy it. I'll place it right back on the market. Fix homes, rental homes, do the long term play. I can show you how to calculate what kind of rent you could get, how long it would take you to pay off what you paid for the home, and then that rent check be all profit from then on. The banks are not going to hardly let you make any money until you pay that loan off. It's just not designed for that. They front load interest these days. There might be a few loans out there that are interesting, to help you with a few years. But you need to apply that entire rent check back towards either the cash you put in or paying off that bank loan and create that entire rent check to be profit for you, in 5, 6, 7 years or whatever the case may be. That 1% approach is a pretty good idea. Didn't see anything today for the 1%. The land listings were really good with Chris McCoon. And of course, that Crimson Place unit looked like an excellent condition unit. Those are hard to come by. A lot of them have just been in the rental pool for so long. They've got wear and tear or updates that are not original to the, what it looked like before. And just overall condition, not as good, but that looked like a good one. Don't forget to call my partner, my lending partner, Ryan Perrenoud. He and I make a great team when it's your time to purchase. These days, you need your lender every step of the way. You just do. The sellers are going to want to hear, the updated list, the updated amounts or your payment amount changing when you're trying to negotiate. Closing costs, what are they going to be? Things like that. You've got to have that lender. So be prepared. We can help you. And I create an extra value. I've always felt like I'm the best kept secret. My competitors are not going to advertise for me. You've got to give me a try. You've got to give me a chance to show you why we're better. And, I've got the furniture element. We know you got money, okay? Nobody's trying to say you need help, with this offer. And we know you have some furniture. Nobody's saying that you got to buy some furniture. But when you buy a new home, regardless if you transfer every piece of furniture you own to that new house, you're going to want something new. And you might as well use the realtor broker that can do both. I can chop up and represent you in the negotiation for the best deal possible. You'll be so impressed at my abilities using contracts, negotiating, all that stuff. Then the credit. Like I said, a $5,000 furniture invoice would cost you $3,500. Keep more of your money in that bank digital layout. I mean, we don't even touch the cash anymore these days. You'll have more balance in your bank account after a deal with me, um, you know, that you would not have gotten somewhere else, and you're still gonna pay that full commission. You know, so there you go. The ball's in your court. Call me this week. Let's get going. I did have a good conversation. I got a new house north of the river that we're going to list soon. Find her a new home. And I sent that land listing already to another buyer that I've got. I think it may be a little further away from what he's wanting, but it's that same general North Tuscaloosa County area. So we'll see. I'm here. This is what I do. Um, have a good day.